Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm back with the Presto Salad Shooter. This is a classic item. It's been around for a long time. It's still around and still popular. I've never actually used it before, so I want to see how it works in today's video. Let's first flash back to the unboxing and then get started. I paid $40.67 for this. It currently has a 4.7 star rating among over 8,700 reviews on Amazon. Also, Amazon's choice. It comes with two cones. There's one inside there and this one. Got a little helpful sheet here, and we have some instructions. Now, the claims that you can shred fruits, veggies, and cheese, or grate nuts, chocolate, and more. You can add one ingredient after another and shoot the contents into a bowl, into soup, or even onto a pizza. They have interchangeable slicing and shredding cones, 125 watts. All parts except for the motorized base are dishwasher safe. Not good for coffee beans, tomatoes, cranberries, or meat. Now, quite a few people online like this one. People say it's easy to use, easy to clean. A lot of people said it's easier to use than a standard grater. Now, even though it's popular, there are people out there that don't like it so much. Some people said it's too expensive. Some complain that a lot of food can't go in there. A few said it takes too much strength to operate, while others said it was just not easy to use. Now, my first round of tests were yesterday. Let's see how that went. All right, here's the salad shooter completely disassembled. We have the two cones here, locking ring. They call this the food guide, is what you use to push with. This is the food chamber, which they like the word food chamber. They use a lot in the instructions. And this is the motorized base. You apply the food chamber with a quick twist. You insert your cone of choice. I will try the slicing cone. And then you add the locking ring, and you are locked and loaded and ready to go. Let me just hit the button and see what happens. Oh yeah, oh, it's kind of loud. Take a look inside. I even feel some air coming out of there, so they're not messing around, are they? So what I want to do now is just kind of do a basic test and try a few things and see how they turn out. Now, I have a lovely zucchini here. Will it even fit? It's not going to fit. I'm going to have to cut this down. It does not fit in there. It does not fit. I might have to cut this in fourths. I'm not sure. Let's see. It will fit just cut in half this way. So let's try that and see what happens. Here we go. Oh wow. Oh, it's quick. It is quick. Look at this. Wow. Well, that was very fast. Very fast. It's funny, when I've seen the commercials for the old salad shooters, I don't remember that sound being so loud. It's much louder than I thought it was going to be, but it's also quite effective. Look at this. Seconds that took. It's kind of unfortunate that this particular model, you can't fit an entire zucchini in. You have to cut it in half. But on the other hand, those slices look marvelous. Let's try a carrot and see what happens in this one. I was thinking about cutting this in half and fitting both in there. I'm not sure if that will actually work or not. Maybe I should try it. Can I fit both? Oh, I can. I can fit both in there. Let's try that. Oh, I gotta push harder. I definitely had to use some force for that one. I noticed that they said some of the instructions, hard vegetables may require more pressure, and the unit might sound like it's laboring, which is normal. I think the unit was laboring. But we have some nice little carrot slices here. Once again, very lovely. That was an entire carrot in seconds. I've got a nice big beautiful potato here. Now that's gonna be way too big. There's no way that's gonna fit. I don't even think cutting that in half is gonna be enough. Let me see, will it fit in half? Nah, even half is not gonna fit. So I guess I have to run this through 4 times to get this done. I can see why people started talking about the professional model, because that one has a much bigger chute than this. But it does fit. Oh, it threw it out there. It's gonna keep going. All right, that seemed pretty quick even for cutting it into 4 pieces. I'm not sure what the time is, but I'll put that on the screen below. And to me, that's not too bad. And they're not kidding about the salad shooter. There was a piece of carrot left in there, it just jettisoned it out. But look at this. Look at these beautiful slices here. That was quick. That was very quick. And they're pretty thin too. I guess one potential con is you can't really adjust the thickness. They're kind of implying that you could push harder or softer to get different thicknesses, but that doesn't seem like that's going to be real accurate. But on the other hand, that's a nice thickness. You can make some nice scalloped potatoes with these. Clearly not every bit comes out, so you have to be careful about that. I noticed each time I did something new, the last bit of the previous food came out. Let's switch over to some shredding, and then we'll try some grating on top of that, because I think for grating, you can actually just put the stuff back in there that was shredded. Disconnecting the unit itself. And you see you got some potato skin on there. I might have to go rinse this out before we move on to the next part. I think we're about ready for round two. Now I should point out in the cleaning process, the blade cleaned it pretty nicely. I've got a little bit of orange from the carrot left on there. I might have to try to scrub that out, but otherwise it rinsed off very easily. And the food chamber also came out pretty clean. All I really did was rinse them off. So let's set this up in for round two here. We now have the shredding blade. Locking ring, locked and loaded. All right, I have an unpeeled carrot. Normally I'd peel this, but this is for demonstration purposes only. Shredding blade, take one. Oh, it takes more force. It takes more force. Those carrots definitely take more force than everything else that I've done so far. It's pretty nicely shredded though. It's a pretty uniform shred. So I'm pretty happy with that. What I want to do is I want to put some of this back in there and run it a second time. They say that will be a perfectly grated carrot. Let's try that out. Let's try moving everything off to this side of the cutting board here. Well, if I can push that in there, I can get some more. Here we go. All right, that's the final product. That's pretty good. We have shredded on this side and grated on this one. I think they're correct. If you run it through a second time, you do get grated carrots. One problem is I want to go on to something else, but look at this. I got to clean that. I can't have that unless I really want to mix my carrots with something else. So I'm going to have to really take these off and clean it in between foods unless I don't mind them getting mixed up together, which I'll do right now. All right, I rinsed it out, but look at this. Definitely carrot color left behind. I'm not going to scrub that until I'm done, but hopefully that doesn't stain like that. But I figure I've got more foods going through there, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. I got little bits of food around my counter, because when they say salad shooter, they mean it. It does shoot. Usually I get it in the right spot, but sometimes you have an errant one that goes flying. Let's try the other half of my zucchini on the shredding blade and see what happens. Oh yeah. It is quick. I will give them that. It's very quick and quite effective. Nicely shredded. First impression is pretty good, but what I want to do is disassemble this, and I want to see how well that holds up in the dishwasher. And tomorrow I'll try a few more things. All right, so I ran it through the dishwasher, and here's how it looks. Plunger looks pretty nice. This one didn't really have any stains, so not much to report there. This is the one that I was worried about, and honestly, it looks pretty good. I don't really see much as the carrot stains in there. The food chamber has a little bit of stain inside, but considering where it started, I would say that's acceptable. For today's test, I'm gonna go a little more quickly through a few things, so let's get started. First thing I wanna try are some almonds. I'm gonna try both slicing and shredding those. Let's start off with the slicing blade. I'm not sure how much shooting the salad shooter is going to do, but hopefully it can stay on this cutting board here. Here we go. All right, that's kind of a mess. Kind of made a mess here. I mean, the slices are by no means uniform, but it is sliced. It is kind of shredded a little bit too. Depending on what you want it for, that may or may not be acceptable. I'm not sure that's what I expected, but we'll keep moving on. I keep spilling stuff out of there. Come on. We got a few almonds kind of stuck in the blade itself too. Let's try the shredding blade for almonds and see how that goes. All right, this time I'm using a bowl because I got almond crumbs everywhere from the last round. We have almonds. That's pretty finely shredded. It's almost like almond powder. It's very fine. Let's try some walnuts using the same shredding blade and see how that goes. It's gonna go right in the same bowl here. And I keep getting almond crumbs everywhere. Shredding the walnuts. I I think that final result there is a little bit more what you expect from shredded walnut. It was pretty good. It seems like the walnuts shred a little bit better than the almonds did. I think nuts are definitely better for shredding than slicing in this unit. The slicing was a little bit inconsistent. The shredding was pretty good. Maybe almost too good on the almonds. Let's keep moving on now. I had to remove my tablecloth because I had almond crumbs all over it, but let's move on to some cheese now. I got a couple different blocks here. I'll try both the slicing and the shredding, but it looks like the size is a little bit big for that, so I'm gonna have to cut this down just a bit. These will not fit in that chute. All right, so I've cut these down into 2 small cubes. It'll fit through there. I'll do 1 slice and 1 shred on each, see how it goes. I've got the slicing blade in here now. Let's start off with the softer of the two, the mozzarella. Placing it in the chute, placing the plunger on top. We're ready to go. Slicing mozzarella, here we go. Oh, wow. Let's go with the cheddar and see how that goes now. Oh, something's happened. It got stuck. Look at that. That is new to me. I have not seen this happen before. I was pushing it through there and nothing was coming out. What do we got going on here? I'm not really quite sure how to get that out of there. So we do have a bit of an issue here. That's not good. If I can kind of pry it out. I'm not quite sure what happened, but let's finish the little bit of cheese I have left and see how it goes. All right, well, a little bit disappointed on the cheddar cheese, but I mean, the final slices are pretty good. I just didn't like having to pry that out of there. It kind of messed up my slices a little bit. The mozzarella slices came out nice, very thin, relatively uniform. Not perfectly uniform, but relatively. A little disappointed on the cheddar, but let's keep going to the shredding and see how that goes. Now, the last time I put the mozzarella in first and the cheddar second, let's flip the positions and see if that makes a difference. Let's go cheddar first. Well, that came out nice, a nice tall pile of shredded cheddar cheese. Very nice. Let's continue with the mozzarella. All right, here we go, mozzarella time. All right, I think as far as the shredding goes, it came out very nice for both of them, no problems. Looking at all the cheese, we've got the slices, which the cheddar was a little disappointing. Mozzarella came out fine. Shredding, both came out fine. All right, rinse this off, reassembling. Let's try some apples and then wrap this thing up. Now, I found a relatively small red apple at the store, but it's still obviously not gonna fit. Let me see if I can just cut this in half and make it fit that way. It still won't fit. About 1/4 of an apple. 1/4 of an apple will fit. I'll just put 2 quarters in there and we'll see what we got for slices. Here we go, apple slices, take 1. Oh yeah. Well, that was very quick, and very good slices actually. Look at this. Those are pretty nice slices, pretty thin. Not really uniform, but still pretty good. Move that over. I'm gonna try a different kind of apple here. Let's try a green apple. We'll try putting both quarters in that way and see what happens. Wow, it's very quick with the apples. And pretty nice slices too. So the apple slices to me were better than the cheese. They seem like they're a little bit more uniform and they were much faster. So in the end, I think the Salad Shooter does live up to its reputation of being a good shredder and slicer, although it's not perfect, it's not without its flaws, but it is pretty good. Almost everything went through there pretty well. The cheese was a little bit gummed up at one point, maybe because I went 2 in a row, but I would hope you could do more than just 1 block of cheese without having to clean it out. I wasn't as impressed with the almond slices, although the shredding of the almonds and the walnuts was pretty good. I'm kind of torn because I think the NutriChopper I reviewed several years ago is probably a viable contender, but on its own, I think the Presto Salad Shooter does work. If you've tried the Presto Salad Shooter or something like it, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.